The views, comments, and opinions of the following program do not necessarily reflect those of Morris Media Studios, MorrisMediaLive.com, or its affiliates. Listener discretion is advised.
Hot, bold, sweet, smooth, and always flavorful. Welcome to my morning coffee. 3 generations of successful women, brewed with black girl magic, and French press with class, sass, and style. Gia, Tonya, and Syreeta are my morning coffee.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the next episode of My Morning Coffee, where it is me, Tonya McKenzie.
Me, Gia Sneed.
And me, Syreeta Butler.
So happy you guys decided to join us today. I know it's a holiday weekend, and it may have been difficult for some of you to wake up. Actually, that might be a better reason to be laying in the bed, probably with your phone in your hand, watching us this morning. So welcome. Happy Monday. And hopefully you guys have had an awesome 3-day weekend for those of you that got a chance to celebrate. So, Gia, why don't you let us know what you've been up to?
Well, first, let me say Happy Memorial Day to everyone. What have I been up to? Well, I've been up to a few things. Let's see. Got my hair braided, you guys.
Hey.
See? So you guys always wonder what's underneath those hair wraps. Well, I do have hair. See? And most of this is mine. So I did that. My bonus daughter braided my hair. She does hair in Beverly Hills. So I was in Beverly Hills.
And her name is?
And her name is Jennifer.
Hey, Jennifer.
Hi, Jennifer.
So if you want your hair braided, get with me after this show. I'll put the link up on our Facebook page, and you can go and get your hair done in Beverly Hills also. Yeah, so there are blacks in Beverly Hills that do hair.
Blacks.
Yes.
Yeah, there are blacks.
Yeah, there are blacks, yeah.
We're everywhere.
Yeah,
we're taking
everywhere.
over.
So I did that. Let me see what else did I do. Oh, I got invited to, I know you'll be so happy to hear this, to a fitness workout event on Saturday. Yes.
You working out?
Yeah, so it was called the Pretty Women Workout. It was put on by an organization called Pretty Women Pray Not Pray. And they're a nonprofit organization about inspiring and educating underrepresented young women and on our community and stuff. So they put on events for empowerment. So I got to go to that, and the coach of the workout was Coach Ash, which is family. Ash is a personal trainer, and she does training at Thrive in Inglewood. I believe it's in Inglewood. So if you're looking for a personal trainer, we got Coach Ash. So I went to that, and I haven't been working out for a while because of my injury, right? So I was feeling kind of good, Here I go again, feeling good about myself, right? So I was doing, all the exercise. And then my sister was there, and she was like, well, Gia, be careful, your arm, and I'm trying like, girl, no, I got this, And I was going back like I was in the academy, like when I was 20 and stuff, doing it like, yeah. So I did it, did the whole exercise. Felt good, everything. And then some hours later, passed by, yeah, and your girl, your sis, was hurting. I was like, oh.
She said, what?
I was like, well, hurting. I was like, oh my God. Can't walk.
So here's the question. Walk. Do you think it was more because of your age, or do you think it was because you haven't been fit, and
or
will
the
you
injury?
Continue?
Girl,
so
it had nothing to do with my age. Okay. I was going to try to put it on my age. I was at first like, girl, because I'm in the 50 club. I was going to try to put it up there, but I said, yeah, stop playing with yourself. Your ass has not been working out.
You just out of shape.
Yeah, I'm just out of shape. So that was a little wake up. But I was going to start getting back into working out. So, but I think I overdid it because we were doing a lot of exercises with arms and shoulders and stuff. And my arm is not really 100%. But I thought I was feeling good, so I thought I would.
You were showing out in front of the people.
Yeah, you know how I do.
You were giving it to the people, and then you gave it to your right.
So here's the question, because you get on us all the time. Well, you didn't invite me to this. I always make time for a little fitness. So, those Mondays when you don't.
Okay, let's check this out. The fitness thing was, let's go back, because there you go. Okay, the fitness event I was invited to started at 10 o'clock.
Oh,
not at dark 30.
True.
When I see you on the beach with the sun coming up.
Don't look crazy like that. Don't look like you don't know.
The sun is all on you.
You
glistening. You looking all cute.
Right.
You look cute workout stuff.
Right.
No, I don't look that good in the morning.
So
at 4 o'clock in the morning.
So listen, because I love you.
Yeah.
And I care about your health.
Oh, here we go.
On Mondays,
y'all hear this?
When we're not recording, I will work out
and
at 10.
I'm not in Corona with my mom. We'll work out at 10.
So once a year?
Hopefully my mom's therapy will be ending soon, and I don't have to take her on on all the Mondays and stuff, and we can work out. But no, we have
weekends.
We have weekends. Yeah.
But also because Tonya isn't the only one that works out, and we actually live right up the street from each other, and I go to yoga.
I don't want to get on you because you never really have time. When I try to text you, you text me back like 3 hours later.
Oh, so, that's what we're...
Yeah, that's what
wow.
we're doing. Hey, okay, so back to what I've been doing. Okay, so I did that.
Give her her moment.
Yeah, give me my moment, okay?
You know what?
Because it'll come around.
Yeah. No, it's fine. It's fine.
So, yeah, I did that. And also, I attended the St. Elmo's Village 50th anniversary event. So that was really nice. I didn't know that place existed in our community. So one of my friends who was a designer, awesome designer, Andy Drew too, he invited me, and he was showcasing some of his work there. And it was other artists that was there. It was really nice. Jeff and I went. We were driving down the street. We got the location. We're like, okay, let's go. We drive, and then I'm like, oh, this is a residential area and stuff. And the street was blocked off, and okay. But we got out and we walked, and they had a band. They had music. They had vendors, food trucks, and then we got
to the whole thing.
Yeah, it was a whole thing. So it was their 50th anniversary. And they also do events for the community for kids and adults. So we got to talk to the people who are behind the scenes at St. Elmo's Village. So that was interesting. And also I talked to a lady. I'm thinking about maybe volunteering, maybe teaching some painting, some ceramics, because I don't know if you guys know.
Yeah.
I used to own a ceramic art studio, so I used to paint. I paint ceramic arts, ceramic stuff. So I talked to a lady about doing that because I think I want to give back that way. So that might, be something that I take on. But they have classes for adults, so I'm going to try to go to some of their classes and see, be there with other artists. And, I like to be in the room with artists. Something about that just
makes you feel good.
It makes me feel good and inspires me. So we did that on, that was also Saturday, too, after the workout.
Were busy.
Yeah, I was busy. So after that, then
busy and hurting.
Yeah, Saturday was like
busy and sore.
Busy.
Right.
And then Sunday, which was yesterday, right?
Yeah.
What did I do Sunday?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I hung out with my bonus son and his girlfriend, the witch doctor, who is a celebrity tattoo artist. So I hung out with her and him. We went to dinner and we played games. I'm not really a game player, but we played Jenga. Is it Jenga?
It is Jenga.
My first time playing. We went to public school. Public school, downtown. So we played some games and that was fun. Hanging out with them and stuff. And she's got to see her studio and all her work and stuff. She's a fabulous tattoo artist and an artist.
So does that mean you think about getting another one?
Oh yeah.
Because if you don't know, G got tats. She all tatted up. Yeah. Don't let it fool you. She tatted up.
I got some tats. Oh. Yeah, I am going to get another tattoo.
Okay.
And hopefully she'll do it, so I'll be able to say I've been
You've
tatted
by the witch doctor.
Yeah, by the witch doctor and
That's
stuff.
Dope.
So
what are you thinking about getting?
I don't know. I was going to get like a ladybug and something, but some of her artwork is so beautiful. So I don't know. I might have to get something. I might go big. I don't know. I'm not sure yet. But she does a lot of color tattoos. So which are really pretty. I think on my complexion really look nice. So
where's her studio?
What do most of your tattoos represent? Is there something in family related or no?
It's what fuels me. Beauty.
She said,
yeah.
No.
Represents me.
I
I have a sunburst and an ankh. So I represent life, and then I have a backwards, what I call backwards necklace. On my back. So it's, and it has represents me making my jewelry making or jewelry designing. So it's that. So I also was in my studio just yesterday too. So I was able to make a few things. So getting ready for the art festival.
Yeah,
so I'm making things. So
exciting.
I made this, lovely. I call it the Leela fringe necklace I have on today. But also I made you guys something because I'm always thinking about you guys all the time. I don't know why sometimes, but
Whoa!
Oh, I know why.
Yeah. Once again,
so,
watch your mouth, lady.
So
we're amazing.
I'm pretty damn amazing.
So I made you guys these little wine I guess they're called commuter mugs or commuter cups.
Because we're drinking and driving now?
Yeah. Well, no. When you go out, when you guys are outside drinking your wine in your backyard, on your balcony or your patio or whatever. And for some of y'all who, want to be against the law, and because some of y'all are drinking and driving, you can have it in your little cup. And, don't tell them that I gave it to you.
Officer, right. Don't tell them Officer Neo gave it to us.
Yeah,
Lieutenant Sneed.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
Lieutenant
put me out there like
right.
that. But, I'm all about the people. I'm about helping my people out for, what their needs. So, so I made you guys these. I hope you like them.
You know where mine will be at, right? At the beach.
Yeah, so, so.
My beach tumbler.
So I did that. And that was pretty much it.
I love
these
this.
These are cute.
Thank you. Cheers.
Ting.
I love it. Appreciate it. So what you been up to, Miss Syreeta?
Do tell. Clearly nothing.
Compared to this
right.
one? She usually...
moving and grooving.
Right.
Well, I'm trying to be about the people,
Right, you are about the people. I am not.
But you have been
however,
busy also.
I have been busy as well.
Yes.
It's been my birthday month, so I did a couple of things for myself that I was wanting to do. So I got my hair done.
So cute.
Thanks.
It looks fabulous. I really like it.
Thanks. I got faux locks, and my stylist, Erin Courtney, shout out. Hey, Erin. You guys are going to see this for the rest of the year, just FYI, because it took 7-8 hours, which from what I hear isn't a lot, but when you never get your hair done, that's a lot of time. And it was it's a lot. So I feel like I'm gonna have
keep it for a while.
Yes, it's gonna. So this is gonna be New Year hair. Don't say nothing when you see me in the streets and I got a whole bunch of new growth. Whatever, it's just the way it is. So did that. I got a grill, and I'm just gonna leave it as a grill. We don't know what kind of grill I'm talking about, but I got a grill. And I wanted a pair of Vans for my birthday, so I got a pair of Vans. Oh, and for my birthday, my honey took me to the Broad Museum. So we went to Sullivan Nation exhibit at the Broad, which was so awesome. I highly recommend it. I think it goes until October, I think. But it was a really, really beautiful time. And if you've ever been to the Broad Museum, it's also just a amazing space. And so did that, went to the Pantry, which is a downtown landmark that I love to go to.
Was there a line when you went?
It wasn't that long because my birthday was on a Thursday. So, it wasn't.
Yeah. Because there's always a line there.
Always. Yeah. And the cash only, which that's another
That's why
part.
I don't go there, because
right.
I don't really carry cash all the time.
Right. So did that, and then went to the Amazon to see a Tonya Award-winning play called Falsetto, which was about a family who is Jewish, and the husband divorced the wife and moved in his boyfriend.
Whoa.
And all of the complexities that go
come with that,
which was a lot.
Wow.
But it was a great play. Did that. So that was my birthday day weekend. Oh, and then I went to brunch at a place called the Seventh Inn. It's in Topanga Canyon, and it's a vegetarian vegan buffet, and it's a beautiful place in Topanga Canyon. So did that with friends, and that was really nice. And then that was it for my birthday weekend, which was enough. But I've also, since the last time we've met, I've been interviewed by a magazine.
Hey,
awesome.
It's the ILY magazine. And the writer, her name is Lisa Kwan, and she's a second-generation Korean American. And she interviewed me on is there a connection between mental health and heartache? And so it was a really great conversation. The article comes out this week, so once I get it, I will pass it along, and we can put it on the Facebook page.
Oh, yes.
For you guys
awesome.
I know, right?
Good stuff.
And then let's see what else. I have to take notes on things that I do now because I get yelled at for saying and not knowing stuff. So the second thing is I went on Saturday, this past Saturday, I was in Chula Vista because my really good friend, Dr. Gina Page, had a TED Talk. And she did her TED Talk on ancestry and the importance of knowing where you come from and being able to connect each other or connect yourselves back to your family tree. And she's the president and co-owner of African Ancestry, which is the DNA company that allows for people of color to be able to trace their lineage back to not just the continent, but also the country on the continent and the region and also the tribe. So she can get you all the way to your tribe. And unlike the other ones, they just kind of say, oh, you from Africa.
Okay.
No crap.
Okay.
So it's a really amazing thing to see how when people get their results, how transformative it is, and how her and her partner's aim is to get us reconnected back to our roots.
That's awesome.
So it did that, and she had a TED Talk, and it was absolutely amazing, and I'm so proud of her because she's been on this journey for a long time. Let's see. I got out of, I got out of my comfort zone, which you guys tell me to do all the time.
All the time.
Whatever. And I actually started talking to people.
Say what?
I know. So if you don't know anything about me, I used to say that I hate people, but that's a little strong.
A little strong.
I just don't like them very much, which is not as strong. But I'm realizing that in order to do what I do, I have to talk to people. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's not that I don't like people. I don't like crowds. And so for me, getting out and speaking to, I'm much better on the one-on-one, hence the reason that I'm a therapist.
I feel you. I'm the same way. I don't like crowds either. So I understand you, my sister.
But you do so well in them.
She does. Right. So shout out to y'all and Brene Brown. I'm leaning into my fear.
Brene Brown.
I know. She's
Heart
everything. Anyway,
yes,
so I'm leaning into my fear and I'm making contacts and I'm connecting with people and getting my topics and my panel that I want to do out into the world. So we'll see.
Good.
And then, of course, I went to therapy.
Okay.
And this week it was great because I realized that I, as a little person, really wanted to have people, big people, proud of me. Mm-hmm. And so I was constantly looking for that validation from my parents and from just adults in my life. And realize how that's transferred into my life as an adult. Ma'am. And it was a really beautiful experience with my clinician because I wanted to hear, especially from my father, that he was proud of me.
Right.
And not really getting that as I grew up. But I have a therapist, and he's a black man, and he's around the same age as my dad. And so I'm able to work through and heal a lot of the things that may have been hard for me with him. And it's been a really beautiful experience, and it's been powerful. Because I don't know if I would have been able to get it with my own father.
Right.
So to have it with him and it has that same validation.
Resonance. Yeah.
It means the world. So shout out to my therapist because I'm super, super grateful. We've created a really safe space to do some really powerful work. So
that's dope.
I'm excited about being a better person. Hey. And last thing is, once again, based from the bullying of the two people over here. Yeah, I'm talking about you in particular.
Okay.
Well, no, you also, whatever. I got a logo made.
Oh, hey.
Yes. So I am taking my brand to the next level, y'all. Hey.
It's wonderful.
And I got a logo made, and it's actually the same woman who did our logo. So Brittany Mobley is our creator. So I appreciate you for being patient and having patience, because I'm sure it was, yeah. So that's it.
Yay.
That's enough. Whatever.
I am so proud of you.
Whatever. You was doing all kind of good things, being all cultured and everything at the museum, and
you people suck.
Plays and carrying on. You was just like with it,
and talking to people.
Yeah, talking to people.
You suck.
We had a breakthrough. Tonya, we've had a breakthrough.
We did it.
Oh, and now they're taking credit for it.
Absolutely. Yeah. So look.
So what have you been doing?
That's funny.
Yes.
This time of year is pretty busy for our family. My birthday is on April 27th, and then there's May 1st is Royce's birthday. The twins' birthday is the 14th. Mother's Day is right after that. And by May 15th, I'm just tired.
No, by May 17th, because mine is the 16th,
yes,
and so you still got to turn.
We still have to do lunch. Yeah. So we got through all of those. We did a lot of, kid stuff. It was baseball season.
Okay.
Our baseball season just ended, but the funny thing is, I'm going to tell you about Roman really quick. That's the youngest twin. He's the smallest thing in the house. He has such a Napoleon complex, but he is so funny. And he decided, while Ray was in D.C. traveling for work, that he would call his dad and tell him, I've decided I'm just playing baseball.
Oh, okay.
I'm not playing basketball. I ain't playing nothing else.
Oh.
Right.
Okay.
First of all, he had no fear in doing so. But I was really proud of him for, he's 9.
Yeah.
And it takes most kids 11, 12, 13 before they decide that they want to do just one sport. So, he definitely is carving out his own path. He started on the bench for the team. I don't think the coach took him very seriously at all because he's such a goofball. But by the end of the season, he had pitched and had the highest strikeout rate on the team. And
his arm is amazing.
His arm is amazing, and he's 9, and he's skinny as all get out. So, I just got just watching him go through that process of getting absolutely no attention to being highly celebrated, and then deciding at 9, when we have incredibly indecisive adults around, that he was going to make a decision for his life. Like, this is what I'm going to do. Yeah. Baseball players get paid a lot. They get to play longer than other sports. I was like, what? Where did you get this information? Right. But this kid,
he's done his research.
Right.
He's informed decision.
He was on it.
Strategic and informed.
Give me the phone.
Dad,
this is what I just. I was like, wow. Oh. So that was funny.
Well, how did Ray take that?
He said,
all right.
Okay. If that's what you want to do, but we always support, and I always encourage parents to support their kids and what they're trying to do. So we're at it. He's getting ready for a summer league, and now Talia wants to play softball. How about that?
What?
Oh,
yeah.
What?
So she'll be cheering and playing softball. So I'm just a little proud of them. So proud of them. So we went through that.
But you also forgot to say that Roman started off wanting to do nothing.
Oh yeah. Well,
except for sleep.
Roman's song to me is by Chris Brown, and it's Don't Wake Me Up. And there are days when he has opened his mouth and not his eyes and started singing that song. So,
So for him to find baseball is even bigger, a bigger deal.
Super motivated. We'll get out the bed, hurry up and get dressed, don't be late. He missed a game once because of me. I had a speaking engagement, and he didn't talk to me for 2 weeks. So, he's pretty... He's a Taurus. Look, I live in a house with... It's me, Royce, Roman, and Talia, and we are all Tauruses. Yep. So it is a wonder that Ray and Raymond have not packed up their stuff and left.
Wow. Yeah, that's...
On any given day.
Yeah, that's...
So it's, been pretty interesting. But all that aside, I've been doing a lot of branding work recently. So with my PR clients and a lot of different individuals, as many as I can talk to, trying to get them to understand the concept of branding, why it's important. I'm just saying, I shouldn't have to have this conversation with you all the time.
Disrespectful.
You should listen to me.
Whatever.
But no, it's a concept that a lot of people don't understand.
You're right.
Right? Branding and their logo, the colors of their logo, why it's important. A particular client I have now, he's always moving his logo, or he'll just use something else. I'm like, why? What are you doing? You know who I'm talking about. I'm talking about you. What are you doing? Why are you doing that? So trying to get people to understand why it's important to be consistent about their branding. I had an amazing workshop with Marcy Klein of Klein Creative Media. Shout out Marcy. She is an amazing videographer. She also has a drone. So she does some amazing work. But even as high quality as her work is, sometimes she has a hard time communicating her message. And your message is important. Why am I someone you want to work with? Why my product or why my service? So continuing to have that conversation actually is what I've been doing most since we last met, between the workshops and meeting with clients. That's really been the crux of things. So when I send you my calendar and it looks like somebody threw up on it, it's because I'm busy doing that. Because it's important.
It does often.
Yeah, it's important. I say this all the time. I've seen a lot of businesses fail.
Yeah.
And many times it's not because they have a bad product or a bad service. It's because people don't know about them or don't know why they would spend their money or their time with them. So I have been just working and working, but I love what I do. So, I do it with no problem. But I did want to let you guys know about an event that I will actually be a panelist at. Ooh. And hopefully maybe we can go live there.
Yes.
Yes. It's the Empower Her Project. It's the second annual. Have you heard about it?
Yes.
What have you heard? What do you know?
That you're going to be a panelist on it.
Right. So it's the second annual.
It's in the I think it's in the hood, right? Okay. Well, what other people call the hood, we don't call it the hood, but what they say
it's being gentrified now.
It's being gentrified.
There's a Starbucks there.
Isn't it like in the projects or something?
So it's in the Jordan Downs Community Center on June 9th at 11:30 to 3:30. Tickets are still available. It is the second annual Women of Color Empowerment Brunch. And it will feature 7 veteran women of color in business. So they're really highlighting vets.
Oh, okay.
And giving them some love.
That's beautiful.
This year's honorees will be former Councilwoman Jan Perry, Community Partnership Consultant Linda Miles, and activist Susan Burton. I think I saw Susan on CNN. She got she was a champ.
Did she do the hero?
She was the hero
award.
She was the hero award. So they will be honoring her, and the panelists will be amazing. So hopefully we can make it out. It'll be moderated by Sid Stewart, the executive director of Better Youth. So it's going to be a pretty awesome event. Tickets are still available.
All right.
And hopefully the ladies of My Morning Coffee will be there live so that we can chat it up with some of the guests and the host.
So do you want us there? Is that what you're saying? You're trying to be nice about it?
Because Gia has to be invited to things in order to feel a part of. She don't.
No, it's not I have to be invited, but she passively says things, sometime, and when we're on air, and I'm just like, just say we're gonna be there. Hopefully My Morning Coffee host will be there. Just say we're gonna be there, like she always does. We're gonna be here at this time. Look cute.
So you want her to bully you like she usually does?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Just being clear. Just being clear.
Yeah.
Tables and booths are still available. Jesus Christ.
I want to be invited to the family type stuff, but the work stuff.
You want beef? Yeah. She wants peach cobbler.
But the work stuff, just tell me where to be, what time, that's all I need, Okay, but back to what you were saying. Yeah.
You want some peach cobbler? You want to make some peach cobbler?
Mm-hmm.
After our workout?
Yes.
On the beach? Yes. So, this one right here. Raymond's home from college.
Yes.
So we saw that.
He's home. He's done with his freshman year as a basketball player at a university.
Yay.
So that's been interesting. He's learned a few things, but he still has a lot to learn. So pray for me.
But he was pretty far along before he left.
No, there's some things we don't learn until we are out of our parents' home.
True.
So, he cleans up a lot now.
Oh,
good.
Right? I'm like, oh my God, he can move back. But then he eats all the food. So I'm just, I'm not winning. Yeah. So with that being said, everything's pretty regular. Schedule's booked. A lot
booked and busy.
Clients, booked and busy.
And
we
blessed.
have a lot of cool stuff coming up, though, in the summer.
Ooh, that's
this weather is awful. I haven't had a real beach day in forever.
Yeah, it's May. Why am I wearing a sweater in LA
I'm
in May?
Unsatisfied.
It's not okay.
We will be excited for the sun to show up.
I got some tank tops to wear. I done made some cute tank tops. I can't even wear them. I can't even get them out there for the people to buy. But I'm gonna put them out there though. So
I just thought of an idea for a T-shirt. BBB.
What is that?
Booked, busy, and blessed.
I love it.
Hey.
I thought of that off the cuff. Just This beautiful mind. Look at this beautiful mind doing stuff.
Sticking out stuff. Look at you.
You can have that, girl.
All right, I can have that. Thank you, boo. Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Why don't you let everybody know what's coming up after the break?
All right. So once we come back from our break, we will be introducing a wonderful young man who, by all terms, is single. Can you hear me? He is single. He is single, ladies. Single.
Are you whispering?
I am.
Ladies, y'all better get your cup.
Come on back.
Come on back. Sit down. Because who we coming back with, he's single. He look good. He fit. All that and above. He's a hot cup of coffee.
He is a hot cup of coffee.
So, or a full glass of wine, however you want to, whatever you're having this morning, he's all that. So y'all better come on back.
Holiday.
Yeah, y'all better come on back.
But he also is very smart as well.
Yeah, he's smart. He's smart. You're right. He's smart.
Can we? Yeah. It's not about his body; it's about his mind as well.
Because it's mental health awareness.
Because it's
mental health. He's an intellect, ladies.
And he is.
And he look good though. Oh.
He is a pharmaceutical rep, and so we are actually going to come back and talk about medication since it is Mental Health Awareness Month, and also some of the ways in which he thinks about mental wellness and other things that we can do. So I am excited for obvious reasons, and he's also going to talk about a program that he has created and started. So we will be back in just a moment with Walt Watts the fourth on My Morning Coffee.
Well, welcome back to My Morning Coffee with Tonya, G, and Syreeta, and we are bringing to you this morning a pretty awesome young guy, Walter Watts Jr. the Fourth.
Yes, how you guys doing?
Good. And we want to I'm not going to give you too much about him because in his story, he'll be able to explain a whole lot. But he came out here from Fresno today, but he's from San Jose, California.
A little bit of a
and
a little bit.
He's a legacy. So I want him to go ahead and introduce himself, what he's doing, and why he's here.
All right. Well, again, my name is Walt Watts, and I started something called the SWAM Challenge. No, it's not swimming. Not at all. SWAM actually stands for Started with a Mile. And what I'm trying to educate people to do is be a little bit more mindful about setting goals and being consistent and having more control over your mindset. And what comes with that is mental awareness and health, because I think the more that you have knowledge of yourself and how to motivate yourself, you have more control of your mental state. The SWAM Challenge started with actually my mother and father passing away, so I was more in a depressed state when I started the SWAM Challenge. My father passed, unfortunately, from a heart attack from out of nowhere, and my mother passed from brain cancer shortly after. So in that time of kind of heartbreak and confusion and being lost, when my mom passed, I was overweight, I was depressed, and I was like, you know what, let me go outside and go run a mile. And in that process, Started with the Mile was created because while I ran that 1 mile, I felt like I had an epiphany of like, hey, you should start to challenge yourself and start to challenge your family on being a little bit more active and being more educational of what you eat and what you put in your body. So with just me starting 1 mile, I said, hey, let me set a goal to do it for 30 days straight and see what that gets me. Okay. And then after that 1 mile that I did, I was like, you know what? I need to start doing this and start motivating people to set small, tangible goals and be able to strengthen your mindset. So that is really how the SWAM Challenge started.
So listen, I want you to tell the people who they need to understand that you come from a background of athletics.
Okay.
I think it's important to know that depression can happen to anybody.
Absolutely.
Becoming overweight, that can happen to anybody. And even those that know what physical fitness and wellness means to the body, right? So you've been an elite athlete. Your dad's been an elite athlete. Give us a little bit more background about your family history, and then how you got to a place where you were an elite athlete, and then you recognize, man, I've got to this place where I need to change.
Yeah. So my father, he played, my dad was the real deal. He played baseball, he played basketball, he played football, and made it pro in every single sport. So athletics has been part of my family my whole entire life. My grandpa played basketball. It's just, my dad would always say it's in our blood. So we were bred around them. All my little brothers played. My sister played at the University of Colorado. I played football at the University of Utah. Shout out to my Utes out there. And so we've been bred over being competitive and having that brand of we have to get better, we have to motivate ourselves, and it's always striving for greatness. Regardless if you are great or not, we are always still to just, hey, you be the best you that you can be. So sports has always been part of our family. And so yeah, it's just second nature. So the fact that I came from a point where I was playing football and at working out, and I've always been big. Like, I've never been small. I think if I lose too much weight, I would just have a small body and a big old head. So I always say all the time,
we can't afford that. No.
Yeah, just a big head and a small body, it'll look bad. So
I'm gonna drink some coffee.
I'm glad you know yourself, Walt.
Yeah, so I'm not trying to get too small.
On that note,
right? I'm glad you know yourself.
On that note, yeah, I'm gonna have some coffee.
But yeah, so it was unfortunate just to see my mindset of me being competitive and working out all the time to a point where I was just not doing anything and just lost and gaining weight. So it was really a mental adjustment that I wasn't sure of myself. You know what I mean? Not only just with my family and everyone passing, but the fact that I just wasn't doing anything. I wasn't working out. I wasn't doing anything. And with both of those off, I was off and I was lost.
Do you know how you moved from a space of being a competitive and elite athlete to then
nothingness,
taking the journey to being depressed and not doing anything? Like, can you talk a little bit about that journey?
Because I've seen after college, when it comes to sports, it doesn't have to be football, it doesn't have to be anything. After sports, a lot of athletes don't know what they want to do after that.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are lost in that in-between of them maybe thinking they were going to go pro, or, hey, this was my game plan, and it doesn't go that way. So it's easy to get lost in the sauce right there. And again, that's why I think mental health is so important, that people need to understand themselves a little bit, because if we understand our basis of what we need, you won't get lost. And if you put all your marbles into one basket and that basket falls at the bottom, again, you have to pick up all your pieces. So to answer your question, how you can lose yourself is just not having a game plan. I think I talk about sports all the time because I think sports comes into life when
it mirrors life.
It
often.
really does. Yeah. And I talk about having a game plan, working on it as a team, and having a set goal of kind of what you want. And sometimes when that goal falls apart and you don't have a plan B, you can get lost and you have to try to find yourself. And fortunately for myself, I was so down that I use that as a little bit of a motivation to say, hey, look, this would be the reason why I build back and become a better me.
Was someone able to see it and articulate to you that, oh, maybe you're moving in, or we're seeing a change in you? Like, were there people in your life that...
A change when I was depressed?
Yeah.
No, because not that they saw it in me, because I think as a man, most men don't go out there and ask for help.
Absolutely.
Even with me being a pharmaceutical rep, when I'm talking to a doctor about, hey, here are the symptoms that you need to find, and these are the things that you need to see, their response is like, oh, well, most men don't tell me that these are the symptoms that they see. It would be more of the females that'll tell and express their emotions. So to answer your question, no, I didn't, because I felt that I could do it on my own. Like, oh, I got this. Eventually this will pass. And I think as men, black men or any men, that we kind of put it on our own shoulders, and then eventually it gets too heavy and we crumble. So I think no one really saw it. I could just see myself changing. I'm high-spirited. I'm always smiling. You'll never not see me singing or something. And that changed a little bit. And I saw it.
So it was. You can't say it was one particular thing that happened in your life that brought on the depression. It just came on over time. You started showing symptoms of being depressed, and your behavior started to change, i.e., not working out. You started to gain weight and things like that. So since you say you recognize that in yourself, and then I understand that you also are a pharmaceutical sales rep. So now your job is you go out and you're talking to doctors about different types of drugs.
Right.
And what kind of drugs are you talking to doctors about? What do your company? What kind of drugs are they selling?
Yep. So I'm a pharmaceutical rep, and I talk to doctors about bipolar disorder, schizophrenia, and depression. So I go into the realm of, here are the symptoms that you have to look out for, because you may not have a patient that's going to openly just come out and tell you. So a lot of times you have to, as a psychiatrist, you have to have a patient that has somebody with them, because the psychiatrist kind of has to go to the person that's with them to say, hey, look, is this what's really going on?
Okay.
Or is he having manic symptoms on the low? Most people, when it comes to bipolar disorder, they think that mania is walking around naked, screaming, and going crazy. But really, it could be just they're really sexually active. They spend a lot of money when they don't need to. They have racing thoughts at night. They can't sleep. It's those little small things that you have to pay attention to.
And that nobody pays attention to.
No one pays attention
because I hear that a lot, I think, in our community, that about what comes to bipolar and different mental illnesses. We don't really know the signs or symptoms and stuff, and things people are experiencing it every day. But people are used to, I guess, what they see on TV. They think when somebody says, "Oh, they're suffering from mental illness," somebody's going to be, like you said, walking down the street,
looking for the extreme,
looking crazy and stuff like that. But in actuality,
Right.
it's not really like that. It's like people are functioning, but still have those illnesses.
Right.
You know.
And the hard part is, most people think that their mania is them normal. Like, they feel on top of the world. Like, Ask me what I did this weekend. I wrote a book. I ran a marathon. I fed the homeless. Like it sounds awesome, but it's just to the extreme, and they feel great. So then a lot of people feel depressed when they're normal, and that's the hard part.
And also to go along with that is for mania, people get a lot of stuff done.
Right.
In their manic state. So it's highly productive.
You're right.
And when you have such productivity, you tend to think that it's a beautiful thing why would I want it to be any different? But the flip side is the depressive symptoms that kind of take away all of the progress that your mania allowed you to be in. And with clients, I often say, your mania can be, use it when you're in it. It's fine. And also take a look and be on the lookout for when your depressive symptoms are creeping up, because it will undermine all of what your mania has worked for.
Absolutely.
Can you talk a little bit about, because I think you make a really good point in terms of the way that people look at bipolar, and I don't think that people really understand the differences between something like depression and bipolar. So I'm interested from a pharmaceutical and educational perspective. Can you talk a little bit about the differences?
And it's real small, and that's what makes it difficult, because now we're going into a realm of bipolar depression as well. So there's depression, bipolar depression, and then there's just bipolar 1 disorder.
Yes.
And when you're depressed, you have people know when they're depressed.
Yeah.
But then when you say like, "Oh, I think I'm bipolar depressed," if you look at the DSM-5 criteria, it's exactly the same criteria.
Okay.
So then, how do you differentiate if someone is just depressed or bipolar depressed? And the way most doctors find out is that they'll give a bipolar depressed patient an SSRI, which is a selective serotonin reuptake inhibitor, but then they'll have more manic symptoms. So it's only by trial and failure that patients are getting diagnosed. So if you go by the clinical DSM-5 criteria, depression and bipolar depression is exactly the same symptoms, which is crazy. Because then how do you differentiate? Yeah. Who needs dopamine, which is dopamine is your antipsychotic that a bipolar depressed patient would get. But there's no clean cut way to describe it. So that's the scary part.
Is that where the clinical psychologists come in to play more, and the psychiatrists? Because I work with the mental ill in my profession, and I meet every day with mental health professionals, and we talk about the different inmates that are incarcerated that suffer from mental illness, and there's all kind of drugs that we're not deputies, but they're being administered in the system because of their mental illness and stuff. And you always hear the term, well, whether she got her shot, but she's still acting out, and stuff. And then they'll say, well, we're still trying to figure out what dosage to give her and things like that. Does that come into play a lot? When you say the symptoms are the same, and they're prescribing the same medications for the same things, how do you figure out which is which?
They still have those symptoms. That's the only way that you figure it out.
Okay.
And especially in the prison system, or just when it comes to Medi-Cal, a lot of times they're going to give you the cheapest option anyway. So you kind of have to go through the run-of-the-mill of, hey, let's try this, let's try that. But there's a study that came out, the STAR-D study, which is the largest study when it comes to depression, is that by the third antipsychotic, I think patients have about 30% remission, chances of remission, only 30%, maybe 20% after the third medication. And most bipolar or schizophrenics, they're going to try at least 7 or 8.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So if they're getting switched and things like that, the chances are just getting smaller and smaller.
Yeah.
So that's why when you talk about the DSM-5 criteria of it not being different, the chances of patients actually getting back to remission is slim.
And I want to speak or ask about that, because how do you support doctors and psychiatrists? Because not everyone has a psychiatrist. Right. Most people go to their general practitioner for their psychotropic medication, which isn't their specialty, isn't the doctor's specialty. Right. So there's already a disenfranchisement that can happen with that. How do you support, whether it's psychiatrists or general practitioners, in keeping the integrity of prescribing? And this is something that's super near and dear to me, but how do you keep the integrity and not just push medication?
The SWAM challenge and working out.
Okay.
Exactly what it is. Because when it comes to, if you just keep it bare basics of depression, by all that, you're talking about serotonin, dopamine, and norepinephrine.
All the things that we all have already.
And for example, here's a quick example. If you go out to the homeless shelter or whatever, right, you'll see people that are in sweaters and it's 110 degrees outside.
Yeah.
Those are symptoms of schizophrenia or bipolar. They're just off. They need dopamine in their receptors to be hit. But a lot of doctors will give them Seroquel, and Seroquel will stop they'll
block it.
They'll block the dopamine
behavior.
receptor.
It'll block the dopamine.
It'll block the dopamine. So
and maybe what we should do is, if we can kind of support our listeners, because I'm like all in with you.
Yeah.
But also these are languages that I think scares people and keeps them from understanding fully what we're talking about. And because saying things like dopamine, norepinephrine, like those are terms that we use commonly in the field, but
don't really know.
Yeah, so let's have a conversation.
Yeah. So to keep it simple, so coffee, it has norepinephrine in it, and that is basically, it hits the same receptors as norepinephrine. So,
and what are receptors?
Okay. So there's, I wish I had a visual. So there's neurons in your brain, right? And your neurons will shoot off receptor sites to the other cell. And by keeping it simple, I'm trying to keep it simple.
And if you need help, just let me know.
Yes, we have a resident therapist here.
Yeah, because I'll go too much.
Right. So our minds fire, and they send messages to each part of our brain. And sometimes when you have challenges with mental wellness, those brain messages don't get sent correctly. And so then there becomes a block. And those blocks create symptoms or signs of something is wrong, because our minds aren't able to fire at its optimal level.
Perfect. So that's brilliant. So to be able to simplify it is the hard part, because I can talk about it bonds to the neurotransmitters and then it's going to shoot off. I can go really deep. So that's perfect. And what people lack to understand is all it is just a neuronal imbalance. So someone might have less serotonin than that they need.
So a chemical imbalance.
A chemical imbalance. It's really that simple. So to label you, you're bipolar or you're depressed, it sounds taboo. It sounds bad to talk about. But really, all you're just not firing and getting the serotonin that you need. It's really that simple.
So it's just saying you need a little help.
You just need a little help.
And it's just like some people that have bad skin.
Yeah.
They need to have a little help with right. So I
think
that
before
go ahead.
Actually, I think we should keep them here till we close out. But I want to hear more about the SWAM challenge and how you are extending it, how you're growing the program, how can our viewers be involved, because that's what they want to know.
Absolutely.
Give the people what they want.
I give you what you need. So to even go back off of what you said is like, how do you stop just pushing medicine,
especially to our communities.
Because I think.
Do you know that 1 in 6 Americans are on some form of psychotropic medication?
I did not know that.
I didn't know
that. I didn't know that either. Viewers, did you know that?
Yeah.
That's good knowledge to know, because a lot of times all we need to do is exercise. I swear, and I can promise to you that a lot of times exercise is not going to cure anything. But
neither is medication.
And medication won't either. But just like medication and just like exercise, it will help in this process. And I think by having a strong mindset and being clear of just goal setting. So you talking about that you don't like to talk in front of people or be around people with crowds. Like, I don't like being in crowds. But setting a small goal, a tangible goal, like once a week, like, hey, you know what? Every week I'm going to try to meet somebody new. Being able to accomplish that is crazy. I know you don't want to do it, but if that's something that you need,
while we were doing good, we were doing good.
But that's the stuff that you have to do to challenge yourself.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying. And just like taking medication is a challenge, you have to go talk to someone. You have to be comfortable with doing all that. That's a challenge for people. Walking a mile around the block is not that hard if you can walk. You know what I mean? And if you can't walk, you can get on a bike. If you can't, you don't want to be on a bike, there's so many different forms of just walking 1 mile to help with clarity, because that boosts your serotonin, your norepinephrine, your dopamines. You don't even have to know what that means to know that. If you just walk a mile, it's going to help it all.
Yeah,
I know. Yeah.
It's that simple.
I got help this weekend.
And also incorporating, my background is in holistic medicine. Mm-hmm. So incorporating things like with exercise, I'm always at the beginning of an intake asking a person, what's your diet like? Mm-hmm. Because we don't understand and recognize how much our diet plays into the role in the ways in which we move through the world.
Absolutely.
So in conjunction, and none of these things individually are going to solve the problem.
Right.
It's all in conjunction. So
Absolutely.
your diet, your exercise, your medication compliance, your talk therapy, all of those, the more tools that you have in your toolbox, the better off that you're able to manage your symptoms. And you are not your diagnosis. And I know we're coming to an end, but that's really what I want to have people understand, that you are diagnosed with bipolar disorder. You are not bipolar.
Absolutely.
You may be diagnosed schizophrenic, but you are not. You have schizophrenia. You aren't schizophrenic.
Right. That is not your title.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, it all comes with the mindset. Yeah. If you want to be able to change your outcome or change what you're perceived as, all you have to do is change your mindset. Mm-hmm. And once your mind is set, that's when you start to eat right. That's when you start to exercise. That's when you start being more compliant with your medication. So the SWAM Challenge is really just creating a mindset that, hey, I need to change something. And once you do that, the world is yours once you start believing in yourself. And we can go deep into it because, and this is deep, because this table is not, we didn't know what this table was until someone told us it was a table. So you are what you believe. So if you believe that you are, that you work out every day and you can be a bodybuilder, and if you believe it, then you can achieve it. Mm-hmm. And it sounds lame, but it is so true.
The mind is our most powerful component.
It is the most. So once you start tapping into that, everything else falls into place.
So why don't you tell them where they can get in touch with you and how can they be involved in the SWAM Challenge?
So SWAM Challenge is really simple. I'm starting it as a nonprofit organization. What I'm going to start doing is going into schools, and it's going to be called a health day. That I do public speaking to educate the youth of how they, not how they should, or how they can empower themselves to be more strong-minded, and set small, tangible goals, and how that can empower them throughout life. So that is how our nonprofit is going to start.
And where are you doing this at?
So I'm in Fresno, California, but my goal is to start to move to LA and move to different places in California. Like I said, I'm in Utah. I have my best friend that has his organization out there where we'll start empowering kids out there as well. So
how can we find you?
So on Instagram, you can find me on swamchallenge.com, Facebook, Walter Watts, SWAM Challenge. And I think that's it. So Instagram and Facebook is swamchallenge.com. It's really that simple, and that's my website as well. So everything is SWAM Challenge. You can come follow me, and it's not just a movement, it's a lifestyle. So once you change your mindset, the world is yours.
What do you have going on, Miss Syreeta, and where can the people find you?
So I am actually going to the Boris Lawrence Henson Foundation, which is Taraji P. Henson's foundation. She's holding a 2-day mental health challenge.
Yes.
Mental health challenge, mental health conference.
It's her first one.
Okay. Yeah, it's a first annual in D.C., so I'm traveling and going to that. And she will be a keynote speaker, as well as Charlemagne the God, which has been doing some great work in mental wellness. So I'm doing that. And then continuing to build. All right. And people can find me at Syreeta, SYREETAB, as in boy, MFT, on Instagram, and Syreeta Butler, MFT, www.com.
All right. I will be diligently working with many of my clients and a couple more workshops, teaching them how to brand, why their logo is important, and hopefully getting them to use it on everything. So yeah, I just have a lot. It is hard, but we're going to work on it. So yeah, a lot of branding, PR stuff going on. You can always find me at sandandshores.com. Sand and Shores on Instagram, Sand and Shores on Twitter, and on Facebook. I'm pretty consistent. Yeah. It's branding.
Whatever.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, whatever. You guys can catch me in June at the Mid-City Art and Music Festival. Also, you can catch me on Facebook at Mahogany Box and Instagram, The Mahogany Box. And you can also support us, My Morning Coffee. We have new mugs, these right here. We have this kind. And we have this kind. They're available, $15.
And you can catch me on the beach with this one.
And I guess my car and this one with wine in it, because
yeah. So we have new merchandise coming, so you guys can catch us there. You can find our merchandise at shopthemahoganybox.com.
And we'll see you in June.
And we'll see you in June, where the conversation will be hot, strong, bold, and full of flavor.
Hey.